Okay, so today is the day that ChatGPT controls my diet for the day. We spoke to ChatGPT, asked it to create us a meal plan for the day consisting of 3 meals and a few snacks that total 300 grams of protein. Now, on this plan here we have breakfast, which it said 3 scrambled eggs. And it said 3 scrambled eggs contains around 64 grams of protein. Unless you're eating dinosaur eggs, that's not true. It's closer to 20 grams of protein. So we're going to see where this actually totals out, but according to ChatGPT, the meal plan that they created gives me 281 grams of protein. So ChatGPT actually failed to give me 300. 135 grams of carbs, which for me is very, very, very low. I normally eat about 500 grams of carbs. 92 grams of fat and 2,800 calories. However, I'm going to be also tracking this on my MyFitnessPal to see how accurate that is. Now the first change I made for breakfast is it originally said 3 turkey bacon slices. But at my supermarket you couldn't buy any turkey bacon and you couldn't buy any good bacon that doesn't have nitrates. Because I don't really want cancer. We've gone with mackerel instead because it has a similar macro profile. Similar amount of fat, similar amount of salt, similar amount of protein. Even though that technically means I've failed already, me eating mackerel is much more of a challenge than me eating turkey because mackerel is kind of gross. So we'll see how it goes. Right, I've never actually eaten an avocado in my life. I also don't see the point of it in this recipe because it's got no protein in this thing, it's just fat. But apparently I've got to eat half one, so I don't know. Oh, that cut a lot easier than I thought it would. It feels a lot harder than it is. But I've no idea what it's going to taste like. Oh, there's a stone in the middle, isn't there? Cool. Right, that stone's stuck to the knife now. Ah! So I guess I'm eating this gunk. 15 grams of pure fat. What's the point of eating that? What is the point? It just smells like nothing really. And now to add the mackerel. Now I'm not quite sure how much mackerel I should add, but the pack's 200 grams, so I'm going to add 2 pieces of mackerel, which is about 100 grams. The amount of salt that is in this, by the way, is ridiculous. 2 of these fillets is going to be pretty much all the salt I'm supposed to eat for the day. I haven't eaten mackerel since I was about 13, and at scout camp. From what I remember, it just stinks so bad. But you eat it cold. Oh, definitely smells. I know as soon as I pick this up, I'm gonna have the smell on my fingers all day. Don't use that clip out of context. Right, mackerel. Oh! Right, so this is my breakfast, guys. Eggs, avocado, mackerel. Mackerel's very stiff, by the way. And the macros for this breakfast are 44 grams of protein, 51 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, and a serious amount of salt. Let's do a taste test of the avocado and the mackerel because I've never eaten avocado before. Oh, these hipsters that enjoy this stuff are weirdos. Tastes like you're eating grass. It's like gooey leaves. It's not that bad actually, it's pretty nondescript. Okay, next up is the mackerel. So even though the mackerel stinks, it actually tastes pretty good, but it's really salty. I normally eat the skin on fish, but the skin's really hard on this. So I won't be eating the skin. But yeah, this is actually pretty good. So as a breakfast for me, that was quite unpleasant. I don't mind the fish. The mackerel was actually pretty good. Eggs, fine. The avocado, not really for me. All those things were fine, but just to have them all together for breakfast, just so much fat. Normally my breakfast is protein oats that I make in a jar, which is about 15 grams of fat, whereas this was 51 grams of fat. It'll also be interesting to see how my day goes because I'm used to so much more carbs. And so far I've had nearly no carbs. I will see you guys at lunchtime. Do the thing everyone does. Okay, so now it is about 2 o'clock. Time for some lunch. According to this, we're having 225 grams of chicken breast, 185 grams of quinoa, and I couldn't get broccoli, so we're having 180 grams of peppers. Okay, so lunch is looking a lot more appetizing than breakfast. This meal works out at 824 calories, 18 grams of fat, 69 grams of protein, and 90 grams of carbs. There's a little bit more carbs than there should be just because of the sauce I used. That was an extra 20 grams of carbs. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this a lot more than that weird breakfast that I had. That was a lot better than breakfast. The problem is I still get an aftertaste of that fish that I had for breakfast. Oh! So even though I've eaten this chicken, I can still taste fish in my mouth. God knows what my breath smells like. The plan now is to go to the gym, and then when I get back, I'll probably have one of the snacks off the list, and then we'll go to dinner.
Instigator, I'ma mash you like potato. Nothing greater when I snap, you can call me alligator.
Just been to the gym, got quite soaked because it's raining outside. We did traps and shoulders. I was worried I was going to feel off in the gym because of the lack of carbohydrates, but I was fine. I guess you don't need half a kilo of carbohydrates to function normally. It's nearly 6 o'clock, but I don't really want dinner yet. So I'm just going to have one of the snacks off the list, which was protein shake. I don't normally just have protein shake by itself. I normally mix it in with a smoothie or something, but I guess today I'm having a protein shake. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so I'm having 30 grams of vegan protein powder because if I have whey protein, it destroys my skin for some reason. Doesn't have a good reaction. This is 115 calories, 22 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, 2 grams of carbs. I've got to duck to get in the shot because this kitchen's really low. Right, so now we're at dinner time. We have 225 grams of grilled salmon, sweet potato, 200 grams. We're going to do a bit more. We're just going to do two sweet potatoes and see how much that comes out. It'll probably be closer to 300 grams. And peppers because I couldn't get asparagus on the list. I've been very liberal with how much I've followed this list, but ChatGPT's also been very liberal with its interpretation of protein. Because so far, with all these things that I've had so far, we haven't had this yogurt yet, and almonds, but we're over 100 grams of protein off this number. Even with the salmon, which is going to give us 50 grams of protein, we're not even at 200 yet. Look at that. Sweet potatoes. It said 200 grams, I'm just going to use 2 sweet potatoes. Oh, it's got plants growing on it. So we now got 2 bowls worth of food to eat. Not the most aesthetically pleasing, but I do love salmon. So this is probably going to be the best meal of the day for me. We've still got 100 grams of protein to get somehow, so we'll see how the rest of the day goes. So at the moment, we're at 2,505 calories, 198 grams of protein, 183 grams of carbs, and 105 grams of fat. That's a lot less protein than ChatGPT promised, and a fair bit more fat. Now the only thing we've got left that contains a significant amount of protein is the yogurt. If I add the yogurt and a bit of fruit, because I like to have a bit of fruit in my yogurt, that brings us up to 221 grams of protein and 106 grams of fat and 196 grams of carbs. Now this is quite a way off what the original prediction was. The calories are slightly lower than it originally said, but that's because I haven't factored in almonds, because on the list of snacks it suggested almonds. I'm not going to bother with them today because that's just going to give me way too much fat. I normally have about 60 grams of fat a day, and I've had nearly 110. So I don't see any benefit to that. They're not going to give me a massive amount of protein. So personally, if I was going to create a meal plan on a serious basis, I would not recommend you using ChatGPT. Use it as a rough guide to give you some ideas. But I really wouldn't trust it in terms of giving you accurate numbers for things. I mean, it thought that 3 eggs give you 60 grams of protein. If you're getting eggs that are 20 grams of protein per egg, that's crazy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. But yeah, make sure to give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, give me a food challenge that I should get ChatGPT to generate for me. I think the next one I'm going to do is a high protein, meat-free meal plan. But if you have any ideas that I should suggest to ChatGPT, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.